Like, okay,
Yeah.
maybe he's just a flash in the pan here. Viva Dark, some dark support.
Oh,
Nice drawing,
cool.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a queen holding Roman numeral 2
Exactly.
for StarCraft 2. Or the second coming of Dark, perhaps.
Yeah. Or 2 glasses of milk. I mean, we don't even know.
Yeah, it could be
And
just
art
about
is open
anything.
to interpretation. I mean,
Yeah.
it really just depends.
Yeah.
Whatever meaning you can get out of it, Artosis. And I don't know if the drones are going to be killed here is going to be enough to curb the damage that Dark certainly can do. Well, actually, that's a lot of kills. Okay, I'm sorry, guys.
That's a huge amount
I
of kills.
jumped the shark there, but before all those drones were killed, excuse me.
Yeah.
But you can set up a position and really make your opponent work hard to try to break it.
Whew.
That was crazy. Have we ever had an object get that close to the screen?
That almost came out of the screen.
If we were
right
at
there.
SeaWorld, this would be in the splash section.
Anyone watching this on 4K just got a concussion.
Oh my God.
No, I guess he is going to find it. That's like really, really quality to find.
Oh.
No way. No way. No way.
Oh my God.
Oh, maybe he'll see it now. Maybe he'll see it now. Oh my God.
There needs to be an upgrade where the Marauder can lay on its back so it can fire up.
Oh, look at this. He's this is like the A-team of Terran units.
I was going to say, it's a very funny setup because it's all different kinds of units. Each one has a different utility on both sides, by the way. Little micro wars match here.
You like League of Legends, that's like what we just saw there. I'm like, yeah, no, that's the healing unit, right? This is tanking all the damage. This one's the spellcaster or something like that. This one warded the forest, I don't know.
This is each side controlling a MOBA team.
Yeah.
Cool engage there.
I did want to bring up this one thing with you before this next attack occurs, Tasteless.
Go ahead.
The Oracle got...
Oh my God, hold on. You don't get to bring it up at all.
Yeah.
So far, this has actually, I think, been our closest game for today.
You're certainly right about that.
By miles.
Everything has been a landslide.
By kilometers for our non-Americans, excuse me.
Yes. Many kilometers. For every kilometer is very weak next to the mile.
That's right. Everything's bigger in America,
Kilometers
guys.
are wussies next to miles, man. They don't even know.
I'm sorry, how many Phoenixes are out now? There's still like 6 or 7, right?
Is there? I'm not sure how many there are, actually.
Okay, well, let's pretend that I'm right. Okay, it was 3 Phoenixes. So I was halfway right. It was half the number of Phoenixes I thought.
I think he has 100 supply. He has 200 supply. I was halfway right.
Halfway right.
A lot of top-end guys, when they're playing someone that they, as far as Koreans go at least, when they're playing someone that they deem to be a bit inferior or have nerves or something like that, they get aggressive.
Right.
Which I always find so interesting because I have completely the opposite view, and I think most foreigners have the opposite view, where it's like, well, if I'm better than him, I play a longer game. Gives him more opportunities to make mistakes, right? Whereas, like, for instance, if you look at the history, I mean, nowadays foreigners are a lot closer to Koreans, so it's changed. But like back in the day, if you saw a foreigner play a Korean somewhere, the Korean rushed him. And it was just like, let's just test his micro, let's see it, right? And we see this sometimes where it's like, I would imagine Dark wouldn't lose macro games against Trust, but he's like, no, I'm going to go layer on 2 base one game, and the other game is just going to be roachling all in. And it's like, okay. That's
but I mean, are you talking about just any online game, or are you talking about a big tournament match? Because I think the rationale for doing a rush like that in a tournament match is the player naturally will already feel so uncomfortable in the first few minutes of the game that can throw them off versus trying to do a long, drawn-out game where the player might find his footing psychologically.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's probably a lot of the reason why it is done. It's just kind of a, something I've noticed over time. I'm sure you have as well, and the fans as well. It was just something I wanted to bring up because I find it interesting. I'm interested in all sorts of weird stuff.
The Protoss can never catch up with pew-pew lasers.
No.
Well, as I called him.
Oh my God! Is he gonna get the last hit?
No, he gets the probe. He gets the probe for sure. Oh my God! He can body block it with the adepts.
That was a nail biter. That whole series was great. And I gotta say,
I don't have any more nails, Artosis.
No,
they're gone.
Bit them all.
I ate them all up.
You kept biting them until they were infinitely small.
Plot twist here all the time at GSL.
Every time you say plot twist, you should like jump and do a 360.
There you go.
Because that's your last name. It's Plot.
He writes his own jokes. He writes his own jokes. We're live here in Seoul. But one of these 2 players is about to be dead.
Yeah. This is why everyone loves Beyond. You can't even write fan fiction.
I know.
He stands on the shoulders of 9 guys who stand on the shoulders of Boxer. You take that back, Tasteless.
That's some Cirque du Soleil, that amount of balancing.
Well, that's how good his micro is.
Of course. That and powerful knees. I feel like Beyond is the ultimate ladder nightmare. Like the boogeyman, only proxy man. Look under your bed. There might be a barracks being built under there.
Oh my God.
Oh no, but Reapers can jump right up to the 2nd level.
And then you like go to run out of your room and you open your door and there's a bunker there and the Reaper goes into it.
That's
like,
right.
No, I'm trapped.
And then before you type in GG, all your teeth fall out and you wake up.
Oh no.
Oh, it's a horrible dream. It's a horrible dream.
Ooh.
And unlike your normal nightmares where you're being chased, you're just chasing the Reaper, but you can never catch it. Legend has it, if you turn off all the lights in your house and you stare in front of the mirror and you say Proxy Man 3 times, you end up out of the round of 32.
Oh no.
In the GSL.
You watch this, Tasteless. An Oracle's going to fly across the map.
Yeah.
And a phone's going to ring.
Yeah.
Just be like, don't answer it. Don't answer it.
Yeah.
And the Oracle's going to answer that phone, Tasteless,
Yeah.
and it's going to die. You watch this.
The
nightmare continues.
The calls are coming from inside the game.
The calls are inside his base. Where is he hiding? Where is he hiding? It's like, you know that he's hiding behind the curtains, or in this case, behind the gas.
That's right.
The Widow Mine is sitting there waiting.
You look behind the gas, and the Reaper comes out and grabs you by the wrist. And he's like, ah! Just like it's some Goosebumps story, but it's really scary because you're a little kid.
He's got a knife. I'm like, well, that's actually less scary than the gun the Reaper normally has, so okay. Don't pick up the phone! I guess Cloak was canceled, right?
I don't know. I'm making nightmare jokes. Where's the Banshee? Okay, now I'm not sure about that at all. That was...
I'm sure about it. Don't do it.
Okay, that's one. Yeah, that's one way to put it.
He's just very good.
He's like Batman. He's just got a lot of money and time. He's not like Wolverine, where he has an adamantium skeleton.
Well,
and that's, by the way,
yeah.
not a mutant power.
No, it's not
Okay,
at
before
all.
you guys try to get me to turn in my nerd card,
Yeah.
I know that his real power is because he can heal.
Yeah.
And that he looks a little bit like Tasteless. Okay, everybody knows that.
You do look like a mutant, so
That's right.
that makes sense to me.
Get the oracles activated! When you watch Beyond, it's kind of like you're watching one of those 90s action movies where the protagonist is getting his ass kicked by the villain in the last 15 minutes, but eventually he just gets pissed.
Oh, yeah.
The hero's like, ugh! And he's got blood coming out of his mouth and stuff. And
then the villain like casts some force fields and runs into him. And
exactly. And then it's a series of him punching the villain in the face over and over until he falls off a building.
Yeah.
Right?
I was watching that whole thing in a basement, and then you said fall off a building. I'm like, how'd that happen?
You know, the real imbalance here in this matchup is that with Beyond's blue hair, we should have given him the blue color. See?
Is that blue hair or purple hair?
I think it's blue. It's mood hair. It's blue because he's down 0-1 right now. Trap looking like a sidekick in this shot. Think you could take my boy Dark on?
Yeah.
You know who Dark is?
Yeah. He's
Dark's just there, looking scary, not talking.
He's the one that snaps while Dark does cool stuff.
That's right. He's the one who beatboxes while Dark raps. So write that down in your calendar.
Yes.
Make a sticky note. Put it on your monitor.
It is important.
Take a little pen. Write it on the palm of your hand. But then write it somewhere where it's permanent later.
Or don't wash. Put a glove on your hand.
Or get a permanent
until it's
tattoo.
time.
That might be the worst tattoo you could ever get, but...
A GSL schedule? No, man. People look like that, be like, whoa, is that the 2018 schedule? And you're like, yeah. And then they're like, since 2015, bruh! I don't need roaches! Ooh, sexy. I don't know what he canceled, but he started Aspire.
Yeah. Let's assume that wasn't Aspire already.
It was not.
It's like the worst play ever.
Yeah, that would be pretty bad.
You remember, like at GSL last year, we were talking about making a show where we came up with literally the worst builds of all time.
Yeah. You cancel your tech right before it finishes when they don't see.
Yeah. No, they scout you and you cancel some hidden tech and then you just make a forge on one base.
These are like Rambo mutas, but actually they're just gonna die.
Yeah, it's like reality kicks in and they just get shot.
Yeah. Max out on Liberators and attack stats, you do all right. Okay.
Okay. I don't know either. A lot of these fights remind me of like a scene from Dragon Ball Z where they're both shooting a beam at each other, and then one guy just wills his beam to overcome the other one.
Joxy, by the way, I do have to say, for me personally, his ID gives me the most pleasure, capped and uncapped. Like, you know, like some IDs are good capped, some are good uncapped, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Like a fully capitalized Joxy is like beautiful and sensual, and then like just all lowercase. Also, I look at that and I'm like, that's great as well. Like, this guy just can't go wrong with his caps.
There is an art to capping your ID.
And very few people can cap all the letters and make me be like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if Classic capped all his letters, I'd be like, you know what? This guy's not even going to make it out of his group.
Classic can only cap all of his letters if he was as successful as Innovation.
Yeah, that would be about it.
Yeah. If think about Innovation's ID for a second. If Innovation had subpar results, if he was like producing the results of, say, Billowy, I'd be like, you can't have that ID anymore, buddy.
Yeah.
Doesn't work. You know, it's funny because Joxy, we knew him when he was super young, and now he's all grown up.
Yeah.
He's a man now. And it's kind of crazy how long we've been casting this that we get to see these guys grow and develop.
It's always been a very weird thing for me.
Yeah.
I remember, you know, so many of these guys as kids. I remember watching a young Nada play in his first StarCraft tournaments.
Yeah.
And now he has a daughter same age as me. Just both like these older guys that still play StarCraft.
Yeah,
like,
isn't it funny?
It's like really weird, but I'm such a fan right now, Tasteless. You still know who to cheer for.
It's too hard to cast. I'm too busy rooting for Joxy.
Tasteless, it's so cold here, man.
It is cold.
Up here where we're casting, it's just freezing. I'm like a little shiver nerd.
I might go get my jacket on the break.
Classic.
I don't remember what it is to be warm. I don't recall. It's been so long.
It's a good feeling.
I
almost didn't come to the studio today because it was so warm in my bed. I'm like,
dude,
oh, you know
even
what?
my bed, I wore a sweater. I use multiple blankets, 2 pairs of socks on. I sleep with all that stuff, and I don't overheat at all. I'm just like,
that's impressive. You
my
slept
house
with
is
a
so
sweater
cold.
on?
A sweater, yeah. Literally a wool sweater, my warmest sweater. I guess I was reasonably warm, but not like toasty. I was not toasty.
I will say, I actually think the best way to sleep is in a cold room, but really warm under the covers.
Yes.
Like you can feel that it's
That's
cold out there.
fantastic.
That is the best way to go to sleep. With a soft, downy blanket.
Oh my gosh, a heavy one too.
A heavy
you need
one.
A heavy blanket.
You need a couple pillows in the bed too.
Oh yeah.
You need to have them.
I like to go from 2 pillows to 1 pillow. I read with 2 pillows, then my head, like, I scooch my body down the bed a little bit, so I'm only on 1 pillow.
Okay, but here's a trick, all right? Because there is a technique to that.
What?
Which pillow do you use to sleep on, the bottom one or the top one?
Well, the top one becomes warm, so sometimes I use that, but generally I put the fluffier one up top, but I like to sleep on flatter pillows.
Okay. See, you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no.
Also, if you have 2 of the same pillows that you prop yourself up with on your bed, if you're ever in that situation,
Yeah?
Which one do you put your head on? Not the bottom one, because that one's too smushed.
Yeah, and it's also too cold.
You need to use
The top one you've already warmed with
You
your
got to
head.
do the removal.
You're going to re-warm a pillow?
Maybe use that to prop up your knee if you sleep on your side. You ever do that?
No. Oh, well, I sleep on my side all the time.
Yeah.
I almost never sleep on my back or
I sleep
stomach.
on my back. I sleep like a vampire.
No, I sleep in the fetal position basically all the time because I'm always cold.
Is that because you're dreaming about playing Terran vs. Protoss in Brood War?
Yes.
Hey, my Shazam never worked. I never was able to find out what the song was.
Well, that's probably just how new it is. That's BK for you, man.
We are more hipster than the hipsterist you've ever met. We are.
Hipster's not the right word for BK. That's
it
what
wasn't even
hipsters
like,
wish they were.
It wasn't even like we liked it before it got mainstream and cool. It's like we were the first people to probably play that song.
Actually, when we were doing GSL the other day,
yeah,
I think Wolf or Brendan showed us a Shazam that they did of one of the songs that played, and literally it was the first Shazam anyone did of the song. And it's
crazy.
Like, damn, BK, you're good.
I know.
Because his Oracle saw,
Target practice.
Just constant hallucinated phoenixes. I feel like I'm at like one of those kite flying festivals. I'm like, yeah, no, I guess people like kites.
I want to thank all my friends that helped me prep. That goes for Solar, Beyond, BL, Hero, SOS. There are so many other players. Batman, Spider-Man, Obama. Expect this exact reaction. Oh! Okay, drones turn around. No, they're not.
Oh.
Psych, bro.
What do you say about that, Tasteless? Yeah.
Oh,
it's so dirty.
We're beyond. I just see a really big Protoss army chasing a bunch of Marauders with one medevac, and they're stimming and they're stutter step microing, and somehow he kills off way more than he ever should have. And then we go somewhere else in the map, and it's a drop.
Yeah.
And there's stalkers trying to target down these Marines, but the Marines pick up the one Marine and juggle it back out, and then Bjorn sort of wins there, and then Bjorn comes in with a push.
I feel like you have a whole book in you about this, but...
And then TY's like, he goes out on the map and he scans, and he just kills the observer. And we're like, whoa! And then he goes back. And then he comes out again and scans and kills the next observer that's out on the map. Then he picks up and drops everything in the main.
I get you.
And then Maru's like, watch this! And just picks up after winning a fight and drops in the main and wins the game.
Fan fiction.
Yeah.
God.
I've been casting all these players.
Yeah.
It's so cold in here, by the way, that Artosis has put gloves on.
Yeah, no, it's freezing.
But I'm tempted to lie to the audience and say that you have a special glove you cast with
my casting glove.
Yeah, it's like a Michael Jackson glove you wear.
It's all sequins on it.
That's right.
Little Protoss sequins. But I feel like they have
guys,
the same
listen,
quality.
what Artosis is trying to say is that all these guys are the same. If I could just try to interpret what he's trying to say. And I'm here to tell you that's not true.
You got me.
Okay.
The Queens go away. The Banshees come to play.
Wow, StarCraft nursery rhymes. I'm sure we all have some friends that are not that familiar with StarCraft. Well, Artosis doesn't, but I mean the people that are watching. But I
don't have any friends that are that familiar with StarCraft, to be honest. Tasteless.
What do you think of that caution thing over there? The part of the map that says caution.
Yeah, that's like a double, triple underlining where the Reaper jumps up, so you can just build a gateway there, and then it can't jump up anymore.
Yeah, I actually like that though.
Yeah?
I think it's kind of cool they added that in.
Yeah, I think it looks cool.
Especially
made it very easy for me the first time I played the map.
Yeah.
I was like,
caution, what?
We better put something there.
I better be careful about this.
That's dangerous.
I'm going to play this map wearing a hard hat. Can we point out that hashtags have now been used in a way that I think they were never intended to, and I guess it's not the correct way, but now that everybody uses hashtags in a weird way, I guess that is the correct way.
Yeah, it's funny how that works, isn't it? It's kind of like,
people
the word literally, everyone used it wrong, and now it has a second definition of the wrong way.
Exactly.
It's the same type of thing with hashtags.
Yeah.
Everyone used them wrong, and now just that's the way they're used.
People will say it was literally the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like, that was the craziest thing you've ever seen.
Yeah.
You're putting a stake in the sand here.
Yeah. This is it. Nothing crazier in my whole life.
It used to be hashtags were like for a very specific trending topic that was happening at that moment, but now people are like, hashtag Friday night, hashtag party time, hashtag Jack and Coke. Like, okay, he's getting a lot of hashtag drones.
Oh my God.
With these hashtag adepts.
Hashtag
spore
underscore crawler.
It's 2018 and every opinion is equal. Okay, so I think
that's
that
true,
he should just come in there and go through my way.
Expertise doesn't exist anymore.
Nope, not anymore. Oh!
So is this a proxy Stargate? Yes, it is. Thanks for asking, Tasteless.
No problem. That's what I'm here for. Party Mitosis.
Yeah.
We love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We love you. Have a good morning, afternoon, or night.
Goodbye.